Yeah, dude, I'm fucking ready. I watched my poor friend Calvin Kadar get absolutely dismantled. You cannot tell me if you're sober with a straight face that Max Holloway is not the best featherweight on the planet. Right now, on January, what is it, 18th, 19th?
18th.
On January 18th at 9 a.m. in the morning, that Max Holloway isn't the best featherweight to put some boxers on right now. You cannot tell me that. There's no way you can watch that performance and go, I think Volkanovski's better. Nope. Wrong. We beat him twice. Shut up. Beat him once. Everyone knows goddamn well Max won the other fight. So for Max Holloway, it's just kind of, unreal performance. One of the best performances we've ever seen in the UFC, period. And not only did he do it, he did it against a guy in Calvin Kattar, who's a fucking monster. Max Holloway looked fucking believable. Unreal, man. I thought they should have stopped in the fourth. I blame Calvin Kattar's coaches. I actually blame, who's the ref? Herb Dean? I actually blame Herb Dean. Hey, Herb, do you really think the four tough guys from Boston were going to throw in the towel? Have you ever been to Boston? Do you know anybody from Boston? They don't bring the towel out there. The towel's not in their vocabulary. The chance of them stopping that fight are 0 to none. You got to know who you're dealing with. You got to know where they're from. That's like expecting a fucking Eastern European coach to throw in the towel. They're not going to do it, man. They're from Boston. If you get through Boston winners, you're sure as fuck not stopping a fight. It's science, Herb. It's science, bro. So I blame Herb Dean for that one. Obviously, the guy's just taking too much punishment. A lot of those fights will change the trajectory of your career for the rest of your life. And this is a marathon, not a sprint. So let's help the fighter out and stop that fight. Let's go ahead and do that for me, Herb. Huh? Let's go ahead and do that, Herb. Max Holloway looked on fucking real, though. What's next for him? Probably in the fan questions. Well, let's answer it now. Only title shot. If you want to put him at title shot at 55, I'm kind of into that. If Conor were to win, if Conor were to beat Dustin Poirier, I'd like to see Conor versus Max Holloway. That's a funner fight, another rematch. Max Holloway's just not a true 55er. Conor definitely more of a 55er, his natural weight class. But those other boys are just too big. It's too much for Max. We saw in the Dustin Poirier fight, just too much. Max would land 3 and Poirier would land 1. It just hits different. So if Conor were to win, I'd love to see Max versus Conor in a rematch at 55 for the belt. But other than that, you got Ortega and Volkanovski fighting, and he'll just wait around for that. Mm-hmm. But it's title shot at 55 or 45 or bust. Nothing else. Nothing else makes sense. He looked on fucking real.
First one is just an update on Calvin Kattar, Tyson Chartier, his coach.
Love his coach.
Yep,
I listen.
dude.
You guys are from Boston. I didn't expect you guys to throw in the towel. I'm not holding you accountable. I'm holding Herb Dean. Kattar sustained a broken nose. No shit. Kattar sustained a broken nose in the fight and also required 8 staples in his scalp to close the wounds. Holloway opened up with his relentless offense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was tough. Definitely concussed. I think for Kattar, for what's best for him is take a long time off and then come back. Listen, man, you lost to the best there is. He's the best we have to offer. You lost, The other thing that's weird for Herb, and we got to put a little responsibility on his corner. Going to that 4th round, getting just knocked about, and there hasn't been even a glimpse that he was going to win the fight. You got to remember, too, what you're dealing with when you go in. And Herb Dean, he knows this. You're not finding a guy who's going to trade and make himself susceptible to a knockout. You're talking about a Max Holloway who's ready, has never even been knocked down in a fight. Not like, oh, man, maybe we could pull this out and knock. No, hold on. It's the 4th round. Your guy's getting the beak fucking broken off of him. He's getting annihilated. So it's not like, but Calvin does have the power to throw a Hail Mary. And do what? And knock Max Holloway out. You have a better shot of a sniper taking him out. That's not happening. In his entire career, even against Dustin Poirier, the savage at 55, that fucking monster at 55, who's the main event against Conor McGregor, the guy who fucking knocked out Justin Gaethje, The guy who knocked out Justin Gaethje, the guy who beat Eddie Alvarez, the guy who fucking beat Dan Hooker, that guy could not put Max Holloway down. So go in that fourth round when he's thrown literally 1 million punches to the face of Calvin Kattar, you don't stop the fight in hopes that he's gonna knock him down. Are you out of your goddamn mind? Herb, you should be ashamed of yourself. You know I like you, Herb, but still, dude. And that the corner, there's not a fucking. If your prayer is Calvin Kattar, who does have power, he's fighting off his back foot. That's not where we want him. The entire fight, he's just getting annihilated, and you're just praying that he lands a big one and knock a guy down who's. I don't mean like, oh, he's had fights where he slipped. Nothing, never, ever in his entire career has he ever been knocked down, ever, and has fought the best of the best, ever. It's insane, dude. He should not suffer that much damage. It's appalling.
Mm-hmm. So do you think this is the best case scenario for the UFC being on ABC for the first time and then Max like just dominating the entire fight, or back and forth would have been better?
Back and forth, a war would have been better. A fucking Ultimate Fighter season 1 war back and forth that people are texting their friends who don't know shit about fighting, going, dude, you gotta see these two guys hitting each other in the face nonstop. You need that shit. That or like a second round walk-off home run KO would have been better. But this, worst case scenario. Because if you're just a casual, if you're my dad, I'm like, holy fuck, dude, stop the fight.
Yeah.
Like my dad goes, hey, do you think they're going to stop it? I go, his corner sure as fuck isn't. They're from Boston.
All right, so here's some numbers.
Oh, for Holloway?
Yep.
Yeah, listen, again, he's the greatest featherweight on the planet right now at 9 a.m. on January 18th. He's the best featherweight to ever do it. I know the Conor McGregor fan base will say, Conor's best. Wasn't there long enough. Oh, no, Jose Aldo's better. Well, he beat him twice, back to back, and finished him. And now that we see where Jose Aldo's at now, he's a fucking beast. Max Holloway finished him twice, back to back, son. So Holloway's 17 victories in the UFC featherweight competition on the most in division history. All right? I think Jose Aldo has more, but they're counting the WC. Not the same competition. Holloway landed 445 significant strikes, the single fight UFC record. The previous high was 290, destroyed that. His 744 significant strikes attempts are also a single fight record, all on Kattar's face. Holloway landed 447 total strikes, single fight UFC record. Previous high was 361, nuts. Holloway landed 141 significant strikes in round 4, nuts. That's where they should have stopped it. Holloway has landed 100 or more significant strikes in 12 separate UFC fights, the most in company history. No other fighter has more than 8. Holloway has landed 2,618 significant strikes in UFC competition, the most in company history. Holloway has landed, these numbers don't matter. Listen, he landed the most punches to the face out of any fighter of all time. That's all we need to know.
Insane.
Holloway's 8 fight night bonuses for UFC featherweight bouts are tied with Cub Swanson and Chang Sung Jung, Korean Zombie, for the most in division history. Yeah, he's the best. Kattar became the third fighter in UFC history to earn 42-point scorecard in a 5-round fight. That's not good. Kattar and Holloway combined for 578 significant strikes landed. Yeah, Kattar's just too tough for his own good. Everyone needs to know what they're signing up for. The other thing is going into this fight, Kattar, he wins fights, but he does get hit a lot by significant punches. So yeah, it was the recipe for disaster. And flat-footed on his back foot, that's not what we want to see if you're a Calvin Kattar fan. We talked to him last week. It's just heartbreaking. It sucks. I love Max too, though. Max is a great guy, but that fight should have been stopped.
Both great guys. If you were in this corner, I remember you mentioned before, like if your coach would have stopped the fight or thrown in the towel, that it would be very, very weird for you, right? You would
for
would
me,
not
no.
like him.
For
Oh, really?
me, no.
You'd be cool with it?
Yeah, I'd be, but I'm a different animal.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not Calvin Kattar, I'm not Max Holloway. I tell dick jokes and talk for a living. So it's like, for me, I was like, man, I got some other shit to do. Don't let me die in there. When Josh Barnett would tell, Stitch the cut man, let me die in there, I was the opposite. I'm like, hey, this shit gets rough. if you see me with one eye closed, you throw that fucking towel in, my man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just different. But listen, for Calvin Kattar, there's so much on the line. His coaches knew how hard he worked to get here, so you can see why they didn't throw in the towel.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. I think they're thrown in the towel. I also am in skinny jeans and, I'm growing my hair out. So
So if you're the coach, you would have done it.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Wow. Okay. So this is Dana White talking about Khabib.
Oh, I saw this. Khabib's done. There's no story here. There's no Dana's like, well, after talks, he would like to get to 30-0. No, you want to give him to 30-0. He did say he promised his father 30-0. I think he's dealing with the death. He said if something really knocked his hair back, he might come out. No. All I hear is he's fucking done. Who's gonna blow your hair back? You don't want to fight Conor again. So if Conor starches Dustin in 10 seconds, is that gonna get you out? No, you've already beat him. GSP's not fighting at 55, so that's not gonna get you out. Is Charles the Bronx Oliveira gonna bring you out because he starts Tony Ferguson? No. There's no story here. If Dana was being honest, it's not looking good, guys. But it just holds up the division. We're dangling the carrot in front of everybody. There's nothing there. Stop it.
It did feel very promotional.
Oh my God. Promoter's going to promote, man. Yeah. This thing was easy as fuck to read.
All right. You mentioned this already, but Dana White's saying that a third fight with Volkanovski is what he would want for Max. As after the Brian Ortega, which you talked about before, after Brian Ortega and Volkanovski
I'm surprised knowing how the UFC works and moves that they're not just going to bump Brian Ortega out and be like, all right, here's Max. Because what if Brian wins? Max beat the shit out of Brian Ortega.
Yeah.
Beat the shit out of him.
Ortega does look very different now, though.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be fun.
So, yeah, whoever wins, this is going to be a fun fight for Max.
Yep.